wait, it's too early for watermelon. Unless, of course, you're on the watermelon crawl. Join Ria and I for a trip to Green River to ride out to Lost Springs.
Then the AYL crew is showing you a great hike that is close to home and will definitely make you want to soak up the fun.
Finally, Riestein is taking us to a beautiful remote spot for the wildlife as he tries to catch a glimpse of the migrating tundra swans. It's all flocking your way right now. At Your Leisure is next.
Honey, did you bring the watermelons?
No, but I've been spitting out seeds so we can find our way back.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Ria Rossi Booth, and we are out in the Green River area, and we are on this wonderful event called the Watermelon Crawl.
We're on our way to Lost Springs, which is why I keep spitting out the seeds, because I don't want to become lost.
But we won't, because we
No.
have an unbelievable guide.
Yeah, we're on a trail with a group of about 30 or 40 people for this annual event sponsored by the city of Green River. And it grows every year, just like those great Green River watermelons do every summer.
Yeah, it's so delicious.
And we have an intruder coming over here, right
Hey,
into the middle of our shot.
Aren't you cute? You're so cute. Hello.
There are off-road vehicles of all sizes here.
So fun.
And everybody's welcome. I hope you register.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to find out a little bit about some of the fun people that show up for an event like this.
Just riding the side-by-side, to me, I get to enjoy the road outside, enjoy the air, and have a little bit of an adventure and see something I've never seen before. Hopefully, as long as they take care of it, it'll be around for future generations.
Just good to get away from town, enjoy all the scenery, you know. I like the weather out here, awesome views. It's crazy because I don't know the story behind it or nothing, but it's cool. I was just out in the middle of nowhere. Someone's living out here at one point.
My kids have grown up on them, and we take our camper and our four-wheelers and we go to Hyuanas, we go to Moon Lake, Rock Creek, down to Moab. This is our first time in Green River and it's been really fun. Our kids have just grown up on them since they were babies, and our grandkids are now too.
I wanted to come on it last year but wasn't able to that weekend, and was really looking forward to coming down here because I've heard so much about Green River. We came down last year just on our own with a bunch of my buddies, and we kind of explored around, but we wanted to learn so many more trails, and so we decided we had to do this.
It's got so big that last year one day was just not enough. And we have riders riding three days of events. And then tonight we have a big get together. We have vendors and we have prizes. Lots of people will all be able to get together and mingle and visit and reminisce on the rides we've had and plan for next year.
Wanted to support Green River because you understand they're very UTV positive, and so we were excited for this trip. We brought 3 other couples with us, and we're just having an awesome time. There's some families that have 2 4-seat machines to be able to haul their kids, and to see the kids and the excitement that they have, and watch them when we stop and they run around and they're just playing around and they're just having a great time. And they're learning from their parents how to respect nature, respect the trails, and they're understanding it too, and that's the most important thing.
I'm sitting right here and that song that I love is coming to my mind. And I'm proud to be an American, 'cause at least I know I'm free.
To live in a log cabin
Just
on the
you
prairie.
and me. Anyway,
Wait,
this is so
we're not
remote.
going to get a songwriting contract anytime soon. But you know, one of the reasons people said they loved coming out here is the history.
Right.
And this is very interesting history. You know, they're log cabins that the ranchers and the cowboys used to homestead, really.
Yeah, this is a great ride. I mean, it is so authentic. It's crazy. It's awesome.
You know what it makes me think of?
What?
The second little piggy house.
Yeah,
Built out of sticks.
right. But these are like, you know,
They're
wood
heavy,
beams.
They're heavy duty, they're industrial sticks.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we've got more to show you, but right now it's time for you to go to our where to.
The joy of living in Utah is the easy access to spectacular scenery and outdoor adventures. Along the Wasatch Front, there are literally hundreds of hiking trails, but only a handful of those will lead you to a hot, relaxing soak. In Diamond Fork Canyon, you'll find just such a place.
This is the most relaxed I've been in a while now. I'm in college right now, so to be able to come out here and just like sit in the springs was really an out-of-body experience. I've never been in a hot spring before, so I really enjoyed it.
Stunning, relaxing. I really like the contrast with the cold. I went in the falls for a little bit and got the cold and then the hot. We both agreed that we're gonna go watch a documentary after this on how hot springs are formed and how they work.
Fifth Water Hot Springs is fed from rain and snowmelt that descends through fractures in the rock at higher elevations. The warm subterranean rock heats the water, and it emerges through fissures on the surface at a temperature of 108 degrees. The hot water mixes with the cool creek to make for tolerable soaking temperatures. The man-made pools vary in temperature, with the upper ones usually being the hottest. Test out the water of the different pools to find your ideal soaking spot. In the winter months, the road is blocked to vehicle traffic, which adds a few miles to the trek up to the springs. But during the summer, the trail is a moderate 2.5-mile hike uphill from the trailhead to the springs. The trail is very popular for people to bring dogs and children, and if you don't feel like hiking, you can take your mountain bike.
I loved the hike. I mean, it wasn't anything too difficult, and it wasn't like you felt like you needed to be more difficult. It was very like happy medium. Didn't take long.
Maybe 100, 200 feet of elevation gain and you don't feel it. It's just a long, nice stroll, and when you have the best company, it goes by fast.
It's kind of narrow, but not too narrow. You have a lot of ups and downs, but there's still some like calm areas where it's really flat to give you a break. So it's a pretty easy, steady hike. When you first get here, you get that sulfur smell, which kind of gives you the indication that you're close to it. And then you start to see all these little pools and people gathered around. And it's really neat to just even explore up the side of the mountains and look at all the different pools and the waterfalls. There's a bunch of like little falls.
The weekends can get pretty crowded, but during the week, the low amount of foot traffic and laid-back atmosphere make for a relaxing day trip. There are a number of health benefits from soaking in natural hot springs, and these calcium, sodium, sulfate springs are no different, though they will dehydrate you, so bring snacks and plenty of water to drink for the hike back.
Be prepared for potential winds because you're up in the mountains and you don't really know what the weather's going to be like. I think they're awesome. I think it's a great spot. I would 10 out of 10 come back.
If you're looking to be active and don't want anything too pressing, I think this is like a really good activity to do. And obviously you connect with nature. It only took an hour to get up here. Like it really wasn't too bad at all.
Hidden gem in the Salt Lake Provo area for sure.
So come check it out for yourself and hike into relaxation. I'm Will Oxley with this week's Where To.
Hey everybody, welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Scott Huntsman, and I am doing what I absolutely love to do, and that is drive big lifted Jeeps. Now, this one here is a 2016, belongs to my good friend and customer Nick. Now, we've installed 38-inch tires on this vehicle. A large tire, and one of the complications of a large tire on a vehicle like this is stopping. It doesn't stop as good and as efficiently as it used to. So one thing that we're going to do today is review a product from Power Stop Brake Systems. It's a big brake kit. Let's go to the shop, let's pull the wheels off, and let's see what we have to put on here today. This Power Stop Big Brake Kit is a kit that will replace all the components at all 4 wheels. This brake rotor, larger than the original diameter of the one that we're going to remove. I really like the calipers. They're ceramically coated. It also comes with new braided steel brake hoses. They're extended length to make up for the lift kit of the vehicle. It comes with ceramic type brake pads. We've got the wheel off and I've disassembled the driver's front, removed the caliper bracket, as well as the brake rotor. When I put the new rotor on, which we've gained 1.5 inches in diameter, which is a sizable amount of circumference, and that's what it takes to get that additional 20% of stopping power. So I've decided to separate the two pieces because this is easier to assemble, and we bolt this to the hub assembly. Brake pads are in place, so now it's the caliper itself. We're going to install the new braided steel brake lines. Just going to attach it now. Thread it into the caliper. Next will be to attach the other end to the vehicle. I now have the new line attached to the bracket. Clocking of the hose is the rotation to which it's going to be oriented. So this first bleeding step gets all the initial air out of the caliper, but I have a trick once I get all 4 of those done. I'll show you here in just a moment. Okay, so I've done the initial brake bleeding. Now, this is my trick. Now that I've got all the brake calipers flowing brake fluid very easily and good, I topped the brake master cylinder off and left the cap off. Now, I just simply crack the brake bleeder open and I do a little bit of a gravity bleed. We'll just get a little drip going on. Here's the trick. When you tap the caliper like this, the micronic air bubbles that could be stuck to the sides are now gonna work their way to the top. I'll repeat that on the other 3 wheels, and we will be 100%. Hey, how cool is that? That turned out real good. I'm really happy with the result of that. You know, that power stop kit is pretty good. I do like it. I think it's gonna work out really well. The hardware was great. Obviously, the quality of the coatings of the calipers, the brake lines, the steel braid, all that stuff was wonderful. If you have questions about it or you like one installed, just see us here at the Tunex in South Jordan and West Valley, any of them along the Wasatch Front. I'm Scott Huntsman. More at your leisure in a moment.
Okay, so we saw the little house made of sticks.
Right.
Okay, so this is the third piggy's house because it's made of
Stone.
bricks. Stone, yeah.
That is not brick, my friend.
That is stone.
That's stone.
Yeah. Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We're on our way to Lost Springs. We're lost, so we don't know. We may actually be there, but we've been traveling in the watermelon crawl out here, and you know, there's so much history out here in the West.
It's beautiful. I mean, we got the swell over here, and then we got the beautiful book cliffs on the other side. We're just sandwiched into some gorgeous scenery.
No, there's something important though, okay? These artifacts here, I mean, this is like a leasehold for somebody. The cattlemen actually still use this. As a matter of fact, there's some salsa in there on the shelf, which I wouldn't eat for all the money in the world right now.
No, are you sure?
No, no. But
don't quote him on that.
But you're certainly welcome to look, observe, and leave it the way you found it, and you can find a great bunch of history out here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's great with the kids. They're having a ball. The dogs, everybody's just having a blast out here.
Right. Let's learn a little bit about this history.
We're on the edge of the reef, on the northern San Rafael Reef, meaning we're north of I-70. I'm a history nut. I hike, I mountain bike, I motorcycle, and now I even drive a razor. I started riding in this country in about 1982 when we started putting on motorcycle races a little north of us. We are at Smith Cabin, or Smith Cow Camp, and this was a Wayne and Betty Smith homestead back in the days, early 1900s. We just had, where we had lunch earlier today at the Rock House, that was also Wayne and Betty Smith. So you had Old Spanish Trail, you had the Gunnison Expedition looking for a railroad route to California, and then you had the railroad of 1881-83, that was the Denver Rio Grande Western, trying to connect Denver to Salt Lake, and then modern day power line that we paralleled. They all travel through Tidwell Draw because it was the easy travel route, the easy passage route, just like it was for us today. Well, Spanish Trail goes back to the 1700s, And then of course you had the Fremont Indians before that. So anywhere there's water, humans were there. The railroad needed the water for the steam engines of the early days. And so water pretty well dictated development, homesteading, livestock of any sort, and it also drew the animals, which were the food source for the early Native Americans. So everything centers around water, just like today.
Well, there's Alan bringing up the rear. By a long shot, he must have found some other piece of history out there.
He is amazing. What a tail gunner. He's a history buff. He has been just such a joy on this ride.
Well, yeah, but he's a tail gunner because he goes, oh, look, there's another cabin, you know?
He does move pretty slow. He's looking at...
You've never been with him on a motorbike.
Oh, no. Are you kidding?
He is lickety-split.
He is awesome on his bike, yeah.
Anyway, we still have dinner ahead.
And we get to take a shower. Woo! You know that show, Good, Bad, and the Ugly?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm definitely not good. I'm just bad and ugly right now because this has been one dirty road.
But it's been a fun road.
It's been great.
Anyway, we are going to head off for dinner. You go to this week's Along the Way.
I'm Ria Stein, at your leisure, at the Salt Creek Wildlife Management Area in northern Box Elder County. And up here, the swans are in by the thousands. And boy, are they having a great time.
The din is loud and non-stop as migrating tundra swans bob for breakfast in the pools of this remote rest stop. Nestled between Tremont and Corinne, Salt Creek is captured by a system of dikes and ponds on what was once farmland. It's a spectacular scene with the Wellsville Mountains, one of the steepest ranges in North America, as a backdrop.
Well, this is a great marsh up here in northern Utah. About 8,000 acres of wetlands we got up here, and lots of areas to come and view these birds that we're looking at today.
The Compton's Knoll viewing platform on a small hill on the southeast side of Salt Creek's ponds is an excellent place to view swans mingling with other waterfowl.
This is our favorite marsh. It's the only place in, I think, in the United States where you can stand on ground and look over a marsh. And it's just, there's always something to see here.
Yeah.
And with a scope, you can identify half a dozen species of ducks all the time. And now we've got hundreds of swans here.
On this day, wildlife fans set up spotting scopes and offer binoculars to give visitors an up-close look at the birds without bothering them.
Yes, there is a lot of swans here this time of year. They're actually on their migration back to the north, up to their breeding grounds in the Alaskan tundra. And this is where they stop over this time of year to regain their fuel sources or their nutrient reserves and get enough energy to fly back up north.
Heading north from their Southern California wintering grounds, they go bottom up to feast on the sago pondweed growing in the shallows. The common tundra species funnels through Utah's marshes by the thousands each year. Their larger cousin, the less often seen trumpeter swan, also makes a visit. Ducks called widgeons filter in to grab bits of leftover weed which float to the surface.
Oh, we get all sorts of kinds of birds. Lots of different waterfowl, up to 20 different species of waterfowl. Lots of shorebirds, avocets, stilts, snipe, wide variety birds, bald eagles.
Pairs of Canada geese and sandhill cranes passing through on their way north also charm the Swan Day crowd.
I think it's wonderful. I'm pleased that they open this up for the public.
What do you see?
Beautiful birds.
What kind of birds?
Mainly the swan.
What are they doing?
They're feeding.
Margie Koch and Jacqueline Myers drove all the way from Riverton on a spur-of-the-moment quest to see the swans.
Are you happy you came?
I am so happy. It's
Why?
beautiful.
What have you seen?
Well, the sun is shining, so you can get good photos, and I love photography.
You'll be able to get good photos for a few more weeks. The swan migration will begin to wind down as the weather warms, but the birds will return in the fall on their way south.
Salt Creek is a little-known bird watcher's paradise. I'm Ria Stein, at your leisure, in northern Box Elder County.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are just wrapping up the day here at the Watermelon Crawl, and everybody's getting together for a meet and greet. Now this is a little bit different. Some people have been to the hotel and they've kind of cleaned up, and some of us are still kind of dusty.
Well, because we're not staying at this one, so we still look like we just got off the trail.
We're a little
which we
slow
did.
getting off the trail, you know. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
But they are doing something different this year for the Watermelon Crawl. They've got a lot of vendors, and they've put up some prizes, and they're doing a meet and greet, and they're doing some giveaways. One of them is worth noting. People have been on alert today for somebody who went above and beyond and did that Good Samaritan thing that our fans are all about.
You bet.
And they're going to get something special.
I can't wait to see what the prize is going to be.
Well, we'll find out. But right now, you have one task left on your assignment sheet, and that's to look at next week's show.
Next week, Scott and Tanya Huntsman are getting out their full-size machines and heading to the Red Rocks as they take you to the Easter Jeep Safari.
Then, Reese and Marianne Stein are showing off the wonderful history and cultural significance of the state capital of Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Finally, spring has sprung, and AYL is off to explore one festival that knows how to show off the colors and celebrate the blooms. Now let's take a look at our calendar of events.
ATV Jamboree season is upon us, and there will be a new Jamboree each month, so keep your eyes open. Coming up in May on the 11th through the 13th is the Rally on the Rocks at Sand Hollow State Park.
Then, mark your calendars for June because it's the National ATV UTV Jamboree in Millard County from June 21st through the 25th. So register for your summer jamborees now.
Let's just hear a whoop for spring.
Woo!
As you can see, when you come down to the Watermelon Crawl, it's just like spring break for off-roaders.
Only everybody has their tops on.
That's exactly right. Anyway, we've had a great time down here at the Watermelon Crawl in Green River, Utah. You need to put it on your calendar for next year. You can go to the city website, you can get all the details for it, and you won't miss this 3 days of fun.
Oh, I'm not kidding. It's like beautiful scenery, beautiful people, and delicious food. It's the place to be. It really
was like
is.
80 degrees today. Okay?
Fabulous,
You
yeah.
really missed out.
Yep.
Anyway, like we prove every week on this show, there's adventure around every bend.
You just got to get out there and create your own adventure.
At your